Are you here alone?
What do you mean, Barry?
Colby, we're always alone. The answer is yes. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Welcome to the last movie of
Terry Gilliam month.
And boy, what a ride.
Right. In case anybody out there hasn't been listening, hasn't been watching, Terry Gilliam, he was the art director and one of the writers and directors of Monty Python Holy Grail. He was part of the Monty Python crew. He was he did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He did The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. He did The Brothers Grimm with Matt Damon.
I love that he just completely chalks it. Like he's just like, yeah, whatever.
Right. Yep.
It was a little Heath Ledger, right? I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Also Brazil, which is very much like the last movie that we picked. Almost not like exactly, but
yeah. And then last week we did 12 Monkeys.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, his filmography is very. I would have to put it under sort of the art genre of surrealism. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Because I feel almost like if Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
And his melting clocks was to make some movies, they would look like this.
Or just structure the story how it is. It's not completely. I wouldn't say it's completely abstract, but
right.
Because if you ever watched a show Atlanta, I don't know if you ever watched it. Really good show, very surreal, like a surreal version of how Donald Glover depicted his time or just his experience living in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vince Staples, who just came out with the show on Netflix, also has very similar bits or little parts of it.
Right.
So if you ever watch that show, it's only I think 30 minutes, 5 episodes. I cleared it within 2-3 hours. But it was just very it's funny because it's it's his experience, but how everything is handled is kind of
right. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
Cronenberg does that kind of weird bent reality kind of movie as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's also it's just so heavy in sci-fi.
Yeah,
that you don't pay attention to the bits or the messages that he's trying to send. Terry Gilliam is a little bit more his. I would say his filmography has been much more like a Shotgun. Yeah. Shotgun with similar styles, but it's just I don't want to see this guy do a family movie. Jesus. It's gonna be just Happiness, the sequel. Do you remember that movie? Happiness with Philip Seymour and
yes,
and the guy who was talking to his son.
Yeah.
I was why is that guy always creepy and things? He's a good guy, but then every time he's a good guy, I'm just no, you talk to your son in a way that you shouldn't be talking to. That movie, I had to put it with it's one of those movies you only watch once. You're I'm good on the rest of that, you know? I'd never want to rewatch that. Do you remember that movie? Did you watch it pretty early? Or?
It's been a while. I didn't even, till you said that, I was Happiness, and I was that seems like a Muppet movie. You know?
Very far from it. But yeah, I don't want to see Terry Gilliam do that. But
I did actually watching this movie. Recently, we did a category, and one of the movies in it was oh my God, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I kept thinking I could see his directorial style work really well.
Oh,
making that movie.
Yeah. It's just, the scope of those things are so big too. You have to kind of find the right person to take such a big scope sort of property and then be able to minimize and tell a cohesive story.
Yeah.
I think that's what one of the issues that Valerian had, the Tale of a Thousand Cities or whatever. ah man, like Dane DeHaan just could not catch a break on picking movies. Like I don't know if it was like his agent, because he was pretty what's it called? He had it seemed like he was like on a track to become like the next sort of Leo.
Right,
He
yeah.
he looked like him when he was younger.
Yep.
And
And
then-
he had some real talent, and it just
Just
and he had big budget movies, but they just all fell short.
yeah, except for like his first one with like Michael B. Jordan.
Right,
or the
right.
Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like after that, it's just like, damn, this guy has to catch a break. But here, let's get into our
That's right. These guys don't even know what we're talking about yet.
Our bibbity bobbity boops of trailers. This one's kind of like a battle freestyle one. So you're gonna have to catch the double entendres. All right, I got a bunch of cues. Q's got a lot of cues. Like he stay waiting in line. Oh. Working from home, staying online, because he's waiting for destiny to call him on the line. But it just seems like he's biding his time. Ooh. That's a lot. But Q just wants to find his purpose, but the truth is in the depths, not the surface. Will he buy into the company's serum? Let's find out in 2013's Zero Theorem. I've been catching a lot of battle raps on my TikTok. So.
Right. Yep.
Oh man, did you hear like the whatever ban passed, but then it has to go to like the Senate or whatever? It's a little side tangent about TikTok.
Oh. Yeah.
But that's like gonna be like what, a couple more months? I don't know, man. That's
Yeah, so what they were saying was they had like a lawyer there that kind of broke it down. They were like, yeah, so when Congress has banned or passed the ban for TikTok, now it goes to the Senate. But the Senate doesn't like the way the bill is written up.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long time for them to clean it up to where they like it. And then at that point, if they pass it, then the way the bill currently says, then TikTok has 6 months to try to sell it to an American company. And at that point, they can try to actually shut it down. But in that 6 months, TikTok can be like, well, we're going to sue you to stay active.
Yeah.
And when that happens, when that lawsuit starts, it puts a pause on that 6 month break. So then if it's a 3-year
battle.
legal battle and they still lose, then that 6 months starts from when that legal battle ends. So it's still, even if like worse comes to worse and they get shut down, it's still multiple years before they go away.
All right. Well, let's get started with this movie. Let's not talk about politics. This is a movie podcast. This movie is so kind of, it's hard and easy to talk about. I feel like if we talk about the summary plot of the movie and get more into like the messages, that might be a little bit more easier to do.
Right. Yeah.
So like I kind of just want to hit some key points for this like summary, because I feel like for me to describe everything, it's going to be like more than an hour and 10 hour 20 minutes that we're going to do. So
right. Yep. And it's one of this, it's like a lot of movies. It's one of those movies where it's got so much detail in the background that you have to like watch it a few times just to catch the little nuanced jokes that are
being said. Yeah, the dialogue, there's so much like messages in the dialogue that if you completely just like overlook it, you're like, what was this movie even about? Like you're like surface level. Like this movie was trash. Right. But then if you listen to like all the things that are or all the things that are being said in the dialogue, you're like, oh, okay, that was like pretty. I can see why. What was it, Christopher Waltz?
Yeah.
Jesus, what an actor.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to. Like, I don't know. Like, was he like a European actor or something like that?
He was. Oh man, what else has he been in? Like, very, very recognizable face.
Well, especially now. But like, I feel like he has I just like, why didn't I never see this guy before, like Inglorious Bastards or something like that? Because see, he's like in a lot of German stuff.
Okay, yeah,
he is German.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff for a hot minute, man. He has got
since the 70s
a list.
Dang, I kind of want to see his first day, but it's crazy. It's crazy that, like, I feel like you should. Oh man, look. I'm just saying he should have came a long time ago. What an actor.
Right, yeah.
But no, so I mean, this movie is filled with like a lot of recognizable faces. At first, I thought Matt Damon was Philip Seymour.
Oh. But they do a good job. Like, I didn't recognize that it was him the first time you meet him. It wasn't until like
it was like dark.
It's a couple like little short meetings. And it wasn't until like the third time it was like, that's Matt Damon, isn't it?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
But it's also with like Tilda Swinton.
Another one, and the way she's cosplayed up, like I wouldn't.
Nah, her face to me is just so distinct that I definitely just like, oh, that's Tilda.
Right.
And then we have the female who's playing Bainsley. I think she's a pretty famous like French actress.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's the other British guy.
Right, his boss.
What was his?
The supervisor. Oh man, totally recognized him from stuff too. But
yeah, he's just in a ton of things as well. As far as I remember, like he oh god, what was he in Jumanji? Or something like that.
Yes, he's the one that's on the helicopter. He's like, "Welcome to Jumanji."
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So yeah, a pretty heavy cast, I would say. Probably for the time. I mean, Tilda Swinton she's been famous for a bit now too. About a bit now. Obviously Matt Damon, but I thought it was Philip Seymour. Christopher Waltz had not just had done his stint as like Inglourious Bastards and Django,
right? Yep.
But it was a couple years after that. But he was like, at that point, he was already recognizable. Everyone's like, "What a villain!"
Yeah.
But then he's also just good in like anything that he does, like Alita: Battle Angel,
right.
Django are the most notable ones for me. But yeah, let's get into talk about this movie. It almost opens up like a freaking Neo from the Matrix coming out of his little pod, but he's like. God, he's like laying on this bed.
Yeah.
Right, and he's being overlooked by the company that he works for.
Right.
It's just, and what were they doing? Do you know, or were they just talking to him and he was doing like a health checkup?
I think they were just doing a health checkup.
Yeah, because like later we find him doing work.
Right.
And it looks like he works at like a pachinko parlor. It's like a video game.
Right. He's a coder. Basically,
he's like a computer genius or something. Right?
But it's like in the future they have mashed gamers and coders into like the same job. So basically, like you're playing a game to code whatever it is that you're coding.
Yeah, and like obviously their brain is working. I mean, this world is chaotic. I feel like this is probably what we're heading towards.
Right. Yeah.
Did you notice that in one of the ads? This is like completely just benign, but it said, "Come to the Church of Batman the Returner." I was like, did they get clearance for that? I was like, that's cool, but no, like, yeah. So he's like, you see him at work. He's like talking to his boss. His boss is kind of like. He's that really annoying boss that was like, "I'm your friend too, dude." Like,
right, but doesn't like you enough that never gets his name right.
Yeah. It's like, get out! I'm off the clock.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, he's like kind of gassing Q up. His name, Christopher Waltz's name in here is Qohen, but they call him Q.
Yeah.
Or at least Bob does, which is the little teenager that we see later. But he's like, his boss is like, because he's their best,
right?
And what they're trying to find out, or like what his specific job was, is to find the Zero Theory.
Yeah, the Zero Theorem is basically, if you think of like the Big Bang, we started from 0 we exploded into, the massive universe that the and galaxy that we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually at some point it's going to shrink back to zero again.
Oh.
And so the Zero Theorem is that at that point 100% is equal to zero.
Yeah, it's
and so it's like basically it's this weird way of saying that absolutely everything is nothing.
Yeah, it's a, what is it like? It's a very nihilistic view,
Right.
of things.
Right.
It's like, to put it in layman's terms, it's just like when you're turtlenecking, but you haven't hit the bathroom yet, so you have to like, you have to put those Kegels into work and then suck that poop back. That's like a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole ideal of the whole thing is just, hey, math. This is why math ruins lives. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like, what did they say? Math is universal. Doesn't matter where you go, math will always be math. Numbers.
Right.
Will always be. I don't know how it is in space. Maybe they've transcended that portion of our third dimension.
But
brain.
isn't that like when they send stuff into space, just kind of like bullet it into space, be like, hey, eventually, hopefully, some alien race will find this.
I don't like that.
Usually, there's a lot of math in it because they know that math is universal, and the math that we do on this planet is going to be the same as the math that's done on every planet, because
Well, it's also like, who's to say that the same representation, like the way that we represent math is the same as them,
right?
So it's like I don't like that. First of all, it's like looking for trouble. You know what I mean?
Right, but like I guess like in a pattern, you could be like 1 dot and then 2 dots and then 3 dots and then 4 dots, and then that would kind of, even like a child can see that and see that pattern. So it's like this, like a universal kind of.
Yeah, that's what you hope for.
That's
right?
what you hope for.
You're hoping that like it's not like some sort of like invasive alien planet that's like, oh snap, look at these kindergartens math.
1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dots. That means my mom's a whore. Nuke them.
Right? No, like not even nuke them, just like implode them, like Hitchhiker's Guide.
Bubble pop.
Yeah. No mess. We don't want to get hit by the space police about littering in this backwater planet. But no, yeah, and so it's what's it called? Christoph Q's super stressed. He goes to his boss's party, trying to.
So okay, but before that, he is obsessed with this phone call. So his entire being at this point is, I am going to die unless I get this phone call, because this phone call that I've been waiting for years now is going to tell me my purpose in life.
Yeah, and I was so confused the whole time, just because he's like, we are waiting for this phone call, and I was just like, when is Venom gonna show up?
So he throughout the story, you kind of put together that he was like a very outgoing, partying, womanizing guy, and then he kind of tells the story a little later, but he got this phone call, and I believe he was high when he got the phone call. He doesn't say that, but that's how I interpret it. He got this phone call, and he was hot. Maybe he's on mushrooms or something, and he's so excited that he got this phone call that's going to give his life purpose that he accidentally drops the phone and it disconnects.
I think it's that coupled.
Then basically at that point he's like, my entire life is on hold. I will work as hard as I can so that I can get home.
Yeah.
so that I can sit next to the phone so that this disembodied voice can recall me and finish telling me my purpose in life.
Well, I think it's that also probably coupled with the stress factor of like when that happened, he just got divorced from the love of his life or something like that, and it maybe just mentally just shut down for it. That's what I was thinking that whole situation was, right? But yeah, Q is this type of person. He's, you know, he refers to himself as we, which totally confused. Like, is he an alien? Like at the beginning of the movie, you don't know, but he just keeps saying we. So I'm like, where is we?
Right. And he's completely bald, and he blames the baldness on the stress of waiting for this phone call. And he's like, and you could tell because he does another medical exam, because they're like, this is the 5th physical that you've asked the company to give you this year.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, my hair's all falling out. I'm gonna die. And then weirdly, it's the guy who plays the Middle Eastern Indian guy who plays the Oompa Loompas.
Oh.
Is one doctor, and then the other doctor is Lucifer from Constantine.
Yeah, but he's also bald too, but he has like a beard.
Right.
He's like, look at us. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess he's a part of we. Okay, maybe. And then you never see Lucifer again. You're
Right,
like,
yep.
Okay. But no. So like his boss is really trying to get him to like, oh, you gotta de-stress. You know, you're so tense.
Right.
Like, go to this party. It's so much fun. And he's like, we don't drink alcohol anymore. We don't need to do this. And I was like, all right, man. So they go to this party where Matt Damon was at.
Right.
Their boss.
Oh, right. Because he's like, they never say the name, but Matt Damon is, quote, management. And then, so he's like, hey, if I can talk to management, maybe management will let me work from home.
Yeah.
Then there's less chance of me missing this phone call. So that's why part of the reason he keeps going to the getting physicals, because he's like, if they find something wrong with me, maybe they'll let me work from home.
Oh, yeah. Trying to get that FMLA, you know what I'm saying?
and his boss mentions, he's like, yeah, I usually don't throw big parties like this, but I think management might even show up. And so he's like, okay, fine, I'll come to your party, because if you can introduce me to management, then I can talk directly to them, and I'll tell them that I will double my output working if you let me work from home.
Man, don't ever promise that. You know what I'm saying? I need you to do 16 hours of work in 8. But no. So he's at this party. I mean, he kind of gets acquainted with this woman.
Yeah.
And like at first you're like, maybe she's just like a one-off like in this whole thing. But like as he was like talking to the boss, it seems like he said something. He is able to get permission to work from home after the whole. I'll pour my all into the Zero Theorem and prove that zero is 100%. And but like I forgot what happened to make her dash him out of the room. She's like, I just saved your life.
Right.
I forgot what it was, but yeah, like no, like so like that solidified. Okay, maybe she's going to be a constant presence in this movie, right?
Yeah.
But so he finally does get permission to start working from home, but his home is an abandoned church.
Yeah.
So it's like he's like sleeping in the organs, like
right. And it's like that weird atheist party rock star kind of lifestyle, but he's no longer that. Because he makes that comment. He was like, this is an old abandoned church that used to be run by monks, but then they it was like they were late on their bills, but they couldn't fight in court because they had all taken a vow of silence, and so basically the city just took it over. So I got to buy it really cheap, and this was like
was it him that bought it?
Yeah, he was like, so
okay.
I own it. It's like the coolest place to live.
Yeah, but then like
it used to be the coolest place to live, and now.
But right next door is like a sex shop. I was like,
right.
First of all, I was like, well, what happened to the whole like, what's it called? Like, religious properties can't be taxed and stuff like that. First of all, we need to do that. All right, listen. Yes, I understand. Like, you gotta tax these people though. Those mega churches are ridiculous. that's just my sorry. Just as like as a former devout Catholic, that's just my thoughts on it. Is like, well, you know, you're supposed to help people, and like, was it every time there's like a national like weather situation that happens, they're like, you guys can't come. We just reupholstered. It's crazy, but no, yeah. So but then his whole home is bugged.
Right.
Which is, but I guess you're like, hey, you know, if you want to work from home, this is our Zoom call.
Right. But you get like the impression that it was already a little bugged.
Yeah.
But that when management let him
work from
home,
right.
They super bugged the place so they could really keep him focused, because they kind of make mention that the last few critical number crunchers that the management had picked had worked on this Zero Theorem for a while, and then basically just kind of went insane.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, math is evil.
So they're kind of like trying to keep an eye on him to make sure, you know. And they said what they call the clones, which is like one really tall guy and then like one little short fat midget.
Yeah,
little person.
Yeah, it's pretty much
that
twins.
Like are dressed. Yeah, like Arnold and DeVito.
Did you see them in the Oscar nights?
I did.
I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get twins too.
Oh.
That would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
But yeah, no. Well, they do send that afterwards with the kid, with Bob.
Right. Yeah.
Because before he's able to work from home, his boss introduces him to Bob, who is the son of the boss of management, and he's like, yeah, this kid's kind of annoying, but he's like a kid genius. Yeah. But he just calls everybody Bob, like a Pokemon. Like, you're Bob, you're Bob.
Yeah, it takes him too much. Takes up too much of his brain power to try to remember everybody's name, so everybody's just Bob.
That's kind of gangster though. I was like,
it is. Yeah.
But but then now he has to have Bob come sort of check on him once in a while.
Right.
It's a little bit later.
Because it starts because he kind of has like a fit and breaks his computer.
Yeah, because so the management does send him. They give him a company software therapist.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it's played by Tilda Swinton, and she's kind of crazy too. I mean, they say that about all therapists,
right?
But like, it's kind of like it's a software program. It's like talking to ChatGPT for mental issues. Yeah,
we'll get there. Yeah. It won't be very long.
Yeah. But like, it was at some point like the girl from the party, Bainsley, does show up at his yard.
Yes.
You know, as the British like to call their homes, my yard.
Right. And she's in a sexy, tight nurse outfit.
I'm gonna let you know.
Spandex is in there.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I just went straight to Google. I was like, this French lady, she must have had some French movie. Sexy. But yeah, no, like she's very sort of upfront with Q.
Right.
You know, she's very seductive, very sexy, and all of this stuff. But like Q's just like, we don't partake in coitus.
And there becomes a relationship between the two of them, and I feel like it's one of those things where she is. You find out that when she first shows up, that she was hired by management to come over and basically check on him and entertain him for a short period of time.
Well, we don't find that out until Bob comes.
Right.
Because Bob was like, oh, you mean the company hooker? But like, no, like during their first thing, he doesn't know that.
Right.
He's just like, oh, this woman must be infatuated with me. But we don't participate in that anymore.
Yeah. But I was getting like this weird where like she was so attracted to him because basically she's she's like an OnlyFans girl, but he's not attracted to her.
Yeah,
and it's because he's like mentally stuck on this phone call, so he's like ignores
all her
all urges, all his own personal urges. But it's like being like, I'm not saying that OnlyFans girls are abused children or neglected or anything, but you know that
in her case,
there's a portion of those kind of people who move to that line of work because they thrive on the attention.
Yeah, and it's just statistics, right?
Yeah, right. And then it was like, here you have like everybody wants her, but him, and so all of a sudden it's that
forbidden fruit. So it's what Eve. It's what made Eve go for the apple. You know. But like, yeah, no, and so like during their whole interactions, she's like sitting on his lap. She's kind of exposing herself a little bit, but he's like turning away.
Right.
And he's just like, I just want to get my work done and wait for my phone call. And she's like, he says like, well, what other point is there for the phone? She's like, to connect with people. Like we're connected right now. Like, oh,
right.
Poppycock. But she's just like, before she leaves, she's like, hey, no intercourse. Everything else, though. She's like a Mormon. Those stories about like Mormon like teenagers I heard about is crazy. They're like, not my vagina, but my butt's free. Like, Jesus.
I was gonna say, in no way am I in any way saying anything bad about the Mormon Church, their beliefs, anything like that. But when I was in high school, that was always the
running joke.
The running joke was not butt stuff, but it was like if you want a girl who's going to put out, then you go out with a Mormon girl because they seem so chaste, but then once you get a little bit of feelings, they're just.
Oh, that's what they say about Catholic girls too, like Catholic schoolgirls. Yeah, same thing.
Similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're just in Vegas, so we didn't really.
There's a lot of Mormons.
It was not
here.
really Catholic schoolgirls.
Oh my gosh, I remember talking to one and she was just like, "Well, I want to say a virgin, but my mouth isn't." I was like, "Jesus Christ." Are you free Friday? Like, I was like, you can't tell that to a teenage kid.
I'll throw a quick shout out to the band Garfield and Garfield and
Simon and Garfield.
Garfield and Oates. I think
Hall and Oates.
No, it's two girls. And they do like comedy songs.
Oh
but
yeah,
they do
the butt stuff. The butt song.
Yeah.
It was like, it's me and you and me and your friend Steve.
That's what it's like too. Yep.
Oh man, but so she ends up leaving this whole thing, just to kind of leave him alone. The next day, Bob does come. He's like, hey, you messed up your whole setup, so I gotta come here fix it. Really cool. He puts this like new screen over his computer screen and it fixes itself.
Right.
Kind of cool things, and he's just like he's kind of a dick. He's like, Jesus, it's like a rat's nest. It's like a rat cage in here. I mean, really cool place, but like the way you're living, yuck. This kid's already facing an existential crisis at 16.
Right. Oh yeah.
But hey,
but it's definitely it's a fun interaction because it's when you're like they're both like supercomputer geniuses, and so they have something in common, but it's still this old guy who's like, leave me alone, kid, and this kid who's like, I'm a punk tough guy who wants to smart off to my elders to prove that I'm cool. Kind of friendship that they have.
Yeah, but like they have the computer as like a bonding way. So it's really cool. And he kind of looks at Q as just like, oh God, am I gonna end up like you? This genius is weighing heavy right now. What is it Shakespeare said? Heavy is the head that wears the crown or whatever.
Yep.
And he's like, God, I don't want to be like you when I'm old. Like terrifies him. But like the first day, they do have some simple interactions, but then the clones come and pick him up.
Right.
Like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow, Q. Time kind of passes weirdly here because like later he's like, it's been weeks since I've seen you come outside.
Right. Twice he walks by a calendar and just kind of rips the page off the calendar, and it's like a whole month. So I don't know if that's symbolizing that it's like 3 months.
Right.
It may be significantly longer than that.
Right. Maybe it's like a weekly checkup or a monthly checkup.
Yeah.
I don't know. Time is is non-existent at this whole thing. But later that night, he what's it called? Was it like? Doesn't the girl come by to drop off a suit for him?
Yeah.
And you later learn it's like a VR, so like a full body VR suit.
Right, and it's a VR suit that Q did the coding for, but he was like, "Oh, I was just waiting for my phone call, so I wasn't paying attention to the coding. They just told me what to do, so I coded it. I didn't have any idea it was to make this cool suit."
Yeah, super cool. But she's like, "All right, you use it, and then I'll use it back in my place, and then we can connect on the net."
Yep.
And so like he's like, "Here's a website to come to me," and then like it's a porn site pretty much. It's like her personal OnlyFans porn site,
Right.
and she's it's like interactive.
Because they've got the suit.
Yeah, because
So
no, like when he enters first.
Oh yeah.
She like spreads her legs and then the heart pops up. It's like, "Enter me." I was like, Jesus. But then like it transports them to this whole VR environment,
Right.
which is like a tropical
It's
beach.
like a nice beach location. Yeah.
And Q comes in here. He has this whole full head of hair, and it's very flirtatious. Meanwhile, I want to say, the company therapist is like, "This is unhealthy." super annoying. But like, no, she.
Right, because everything's done through the computer. So every once in a while, the computer therapist will just pop up on his computer and be like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "No, not right now. Reset yourself." And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Reset is done."
Get out of here! I'm trying to beat it. Dude.
How bad would that be if you had a computer therapist that just randomly popped up on your computer? Oh, yes.
Every time you're trying to beat your meat,
Jesus.
It's like, "Hey, listen, there's already Jesus stuff on my on my."
People would go back to magazines and think of that happening.
But no, and so like they had this like sort of like cute moment. I mean, at this point, Q knows that like she's like the company, like
Right, but she's definitely got this like, hey, I am, but I like you, so like if you want to escape, let me know, and I'm willing to give up this life to be with you.
Yeah, but like that sentimentality happens more so during like the second time they meet online, because the first time they like, kind of meet online, they play on the beach, but then Q like falls into the oceans and she like saves him, and
Right, yeah.
she's kind of just like petting him and all that stuff, like sort of very, just like a nice calm moment for Q for once, right? But
And it's like he smiles and
Yeah.
like, because he had to, when he's talking to his therapist, she's like, "When was the last time you were happy?" And he's like, "We're not ever happy. We're just waiting for our phone call."
Oh man, yeah, and so again he the next day, I don't know if it's the next day or the next time we see him, Bob comes by again and he's just like, he's like, "Let's order pizza," and then like the pizza girl's like hot,
Right?
and Bob is just like kind of drooling,
Yeah.
because then like when she unzips her jacket to get like her little, I don't know, device to get paid for the pizza, like her boobs kind of like pop, like she accidentally unzips the top portion as well of her top, and she's like, "Oops, sorry." Whoop. And he's like, drooling. And then we get
Right, and Q is totally like, "Why would you order pizza?" And then once it gets there, he's like, "Oh, I'll have a piece of pizza."
Oh, yeah. I mean, how could you say no?
It really is. It's almost like the duality. Like you're watching, like Q and Bob are like, it's the same person.
Oh yeah.
But it's like just young and old of like this person who's lost.
Yeah, it's
touch
like
with reality, or lost faith in humanity.
and everything. I mean, yeah, it's like for the both of them, they're like they're almost mirrors of each other.
Yeah.
And Bob is terrified. Terrified. I'm telling you right now, if I saw my younger self, he'd be terrified too. Like, "I'm sorry, bro. I don't know. Study harder. Maybe you can change it for us. We are." But But no, it's so like, you know, they do have like a really fun. They have a fun interaction. Like, Q is able to sort of tell him like, well, you know, we used to be married. You know, we've had girlfriends and stuff like that. And, oh wait, no, I think that's later. After that's when Bainsley comes, and like, okay, so sorry, I don't want to get too, but like, all right, so let's just say he does a second thing with Bainsley,
right?
Second VR thing, and this one is a little bit more heavier because she's like, well, where do you want to go? And then like she's like, just close your eyes and think of it really deep. And then they're at the way that this movie opened up, it was a black like a black hole screensaver,
right? Yeah.
And then so he thinks about it, and he's at his screensaver, and he's like naked and he's alone, and then Bainsley comes and she's like, oh, you know, like floating in space, and she's like, oh, you thought about me naked. Ooh. But then he kind of starts to freak out,
right?
And then like they're back at the beach, and she's sort of what's called comforting him. She's like, oh, is that what you think about? Like, that's so lonely. And this is where like a little bit of that testosterone came back. You know, he's like, oh, he starts to kind of get very aggressive with her. Like they kiss, and then he like rips off her top, and she's like, oh no, wait, slow down, stop, you know, and she kind of just like disconnects because it was probably too intense, you know, and maybe this like maybe the company's watching or something like that. I don't know.
And it's also like, that's what I do with my clients. Yeah. But I like you, so I don't want to
taint this.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I'll be so mad.
Because there's one time where he tries to go into her site, and he's not wearing the suit, and he just sees her like...
Oh, this is after, yeah.
Like dancing naked, and when she realizes it's him, she's like, oh, and she like covers up and then like disconnects.
Q disconnects.
Yeah,
because it's like a webcam chat room.
Yeah,
there's even an answer like, oh, check it out, Qohen is in the room, like a fucking strip club DJ.
Yeah, yep.
but like, so like after their VR situation happened, she like disconnects, and he's kind of like, oh no, but then the next day he goes on the site, and she's like doing a live show, and that's what you're saying. Yeah, it's like, yeah, she. It reminds me though, because like, I remember hearing stories of like guys going after girls because they heard that they were very promiscuous. Like they're like, oh yeah, which is like terrible. Like it's a terrible thing to, you know, for guys to talk about it. And really the only reason you're trying to go after this woman is because
so you can sleep with her. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember guys being so upset when they're like, I didn't ask her to like me. She won't sleep with me. She doesn't want to sleep with me. She's like, I've changed. I turned over a new leaf. We got to go out for 3 months, and then we could do... Oh, man. So I just, like, I was like, I see why he was upset. It's such a terrible thing, though. But, like, later, after that whole situation of, like, you know, him catching onto the webcam thing, he tries to go on again with the suit, I believe.
Right.
But then this time he's been blocked.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, a couple days, maybe a couple weeks later, she shows up at his place.
Right.
And Bob is there. You know, Bob is just like, they've gone along pretty well at this point. But you know, Bainsley comes in, and you know, Bob tries to hit on her. He's like, you don't want this old decrepit man. You want some young blood, you know? And she's like, no, I actually like Qohen. And he's like, why? He's just so sad. But like, she's like, I quit the company. I quit doing all that stuff. Like, I want you to run away with me.
Right.
And he's just, at this point, he's kind of like mad at her. You know, because not only did he like get rejected from like the VR sex and get rejected from the web, and also get rejected from the website.
Right.
She's just like, so he's just like, I'm completely done with you, and like you were just a industry plant anyway. You're just a company plant. You don't really care. I mean, I get it. Like it's really hard to see it from. It's easy to see it from both sides. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
And she's just like, but she says something that I kind of didn't like, where like, you know, when he was back on his computer, I have work to do. Come on, Bob, we have work to do. And she like kind of like embraces him, like, I have everything in my van right now. I like, let's run away to somewhere tropical, you know, where we can kind of just like lay on the beach and just be together. And then she says, like, because I, you know, like, I think I like you, or not I think I like you, but I like you because I feel like you need me and I need someone to need me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, I don't like that. Because like, the moment someone else needs you even more, you're gonna run away with them. I kind of just don't.
Right?
I don't know if that was supposed to like be a cute thing, but I don't want to hear that. You're like, the only reason you want me is because I need someone.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's how a lot of relationships are anyway. It's just
right.
Like,
yeah.
someone always loves somebody more, or someone needs to be.
Right. It's less about the love, but then more about the filling each other's voids. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always feel like those relationships are bad. They always kind of like end terribly, or maybe they don't. Maybe they end in just like content. Like, I'm content with this like need for each other. I don't know. I would rather just much have a person who's a fine person on themselves, and we kind of, you know, enrich each other's lives. But it's like, listen, I don't need you. You could leave. Maybe that's why I'm still single, because I keep telling everyone, like, listen, you could leave. I'm not going to fight for this. You cheated on me.
Yeah.
No, so she ends up leaving, and Bob is just, like, so mad. He's just like, I can't believe you. I would have left, too.
Right.
Because Bob doesn't want to be, was a part of the system.
Yes.
You know? Because he's like, I'm looking at you, and this is where being a part of the system leads to.
Right, because he said, he actually, one of the times when Q is playing it's like the game. He's playing the game to try to solve the Zero Theorem. Oh, yeah. And
Bob takes over.
And it's like, oh, here, we got to go over here. Yeah. If we avoid this, it won't crash, then we can do this. Boop. And he's like, oh, you're so good. Why wouldn't you do this? And he's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm sure I could solve it, but then, like you said, then be part of the system, and I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to be, you know.
Well, he also tells like Q, he's just like, oh, like, you know, I'm a sprinter, not a marathoner, because he's like, you can do this, but I can get you to the last 10%.
Right.
You know, which and so like he's like, Bob is just like, all right, Q, you know what? Let's just get out of here. Let's like take a breather. When's the last time you've been outside? Yuck! It smells bad in here. It smells like the space between a ball sack and an inner thigh. They go out, and I think this is probably one of the more clearest times we can see the outside world.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, this is where everything. There's a billboard. There's an advertisement on anything and everything.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, they like he puts like a headphone on him, which I was like kind of like it was kind of jarring, just because like it was like a wired headphone. I was like, it's the future. You guys are. But they end up going to this like park, but then like you see all these like don't do these signs.
Oh, so many. Yes, they're sitting at like a bench talking, and there is like 50 little don't.
Yeah, like don't do this, don't do that signs. But you know, and I think this is where the whole conversation of like Bob is like, have you ever had a girlfriend? He's like, oh, I've had plenty.
Right.
You know? But then I got married, and then she left me. Yeah, I was like, okay. But then, like, all of a sudden, like, what's it called? I don't know if they went to go somewhere to get something to eat or something, but he sort of, like, Bob starts to feel bad.
Right, because Bob's like, hey, let me go run and get us a hot dog.
Yeah, and on the way back to his church, his church home, Bob starts to feel bad, and he's like, I just gotta sit down for a little bit. You know, this happens from time to time. I have a headache. You know, my dad would just run me a cold bath, and I'll sit in it and be okay. And
yeah,
he does that, but then like he finally notices the cameras in his home.
Right.
But it's in camera that he's stripped this teenager to his boxers and put him in a cold bath. And after doing that, he smashes all the cameras.
Yeah.
Well, before that, Bob does come back with the suit. He like upgraded it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like the next morning, the clones come in, friggin' Arnold and DeVito, and they're like, "Oh, I wouldn't want to be you, because it did not look good that you put a teenage boy in a bath and then you closed out, you smashed all the cameras."
Yeah.
Insinuating probably some very nefarious things. Later, his boss comes. He's like, "This is your fault. I had a good job. Now I'm broke, or now I'm unemployed."
Yeah.
And at that point, friggin' Q does not care. Now he's ordering pizzas for himself. It's almost like he's kind of like returning back to some sort of normalcy.
Yeah.
But after that, he's like, "Oh, okay, like the suits fixed. So let's just try it on. It's upgraded, right?" So he tries it on. He attaches it, but then it kind of, I don't know if it short circuits or something, but all of a sudden we get kicked into this VR thing, but it's his old job, or his job,
right?
Where it's like the whole, like, I don't know, like archive of whatever data. It's like, what's it called, like those data towers or servers,
right? Yeah, like the mainframe.
Yeah. and Matt Damon is there. He's like, "Hey man, you did it. Did he do it? I forgot if he did it or not, but
I think he did."
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You did it," but he's like, "Yeah, but then it all means nothing."
Right, and then management's like, "Yeah, but there's money in chaos."
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, it's pretty much like a war dog.
Yeah,
right. And he's just like, "Yeah, and so your services are no longer needed."
Right.
And then he kind of just dips. Matt Damon just leaves after that. He's like, "Yeah, man, you're fired, bro, or you're done, or whatever." And then all of a sudden, the black hole screensaver pops up, and then like the building starts to deteriorate into the black hole. And this is probably the first time where we've seen him have a resemblance of a actual human emotion, more like probably the most profound human emotion that he's displayed so far. Because I mean, him eating the pizza and all that stuff, he started to become more of like returning back to normalcy.
Yeah, right.
But this is the first time where it almost finally feels like he broke through that ceiling of that mental block that he had. And he lets himself go into this VR version of this black hole where he shows up back on the beach.
Right.
But he's bald. Yeah. And then he goes, and I don't know if it's supposed to be like a super profound moment, but he's playing with the beach ball, then he plays with the sun. And then he sets it to the coastline, because earlier he's like, "It's always sunset here," or something like that. But it never dips below the horizon, and he places it below the horizon, and the movie ends. There was nothing after, right? I was trying to make sure. I was like, so the movie ends just there. All right, let's before we get into our thoughts and feelings about this movie, let's go to our other section of High Star, Low Star.
We got 10 out of 10. I thought they didn't make movies like this anymore. Visually wild and beautiful, very confusing and crazy, deeply humane, with love passing by and forever leaving its mark on everyone. I just thought that I feel in a similar way when reading some of Brother Strugatsky's books.
Yeah.
The Strangling System Machine, the human pawns in someone's heartless game, the desperate search for meaning in life, the dangerously feeble spark of love. Not much of a review, I know, but I'm still under the impressions of this movie, and really, if any of the above makes any sense to you, go watch it. You will enjoy it.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. 1 out of 10, pretentious. A more skilled director and writer could have presented the exact same ideas with a more comprehensible and interesting plot, and without all the LSD involved. However, our friend Terry decides to camouflage the simplicity of the real message with a psychedelic atmosphere and bizarre characters. The audience is persuaded by this overdose of visual stimulation into thinking that the meaning is more complex than they thought, erroneously increasing the intellectual value of the film. I don't think it was very LSD trippy.
No.
It wasn't like Fear and Loathing.
Right.
Yeah, this is pretty. I think they're just like mad that they have to actually listen to the dialogue to get more of it.
That is definitely something like with the Terry Gilliam film. Besides like the Monty Python Holy Grail, that's pretty like in your face funny. But generally with the movies, like I feel like I watch the movie, and when the movie's over, I just want to be like, I don't want to talk about this movie for 24 hours. It has to seep in and marinate in my brain because it's going to mean something different to me tomorrow than it does right now. Because lots of times, like right after you watch it, like this one especially, like right after I watched it, I was like, I don't know what that was supposed to be telling me. And then like once you like think about it, and it kind of like the points, your brain kind of like marinates it. Yeah. Same kind of thing we did a couple weeks ago. We did Tideland, and like first watching that, you like it ends, and you're like, that movie is kind of repulsive, but then like a day or two afterwards, like so much more flavor comes out of what you watched, and it's no longer, so
sad,
so harsh.
Yeah, I didn't need more than one watch. I was like, I get it, but I was like, I didn't like how you got there. Yeah, this movie, I think more, what was it called? The devil's more in the details and everything. It's not as trippy. It wasn't like Blade Runner or anything like that. As far as like visually, like the guy was saying, it was like LSD psychedelic. It wasn't really like that.
Right, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I mean, there's much more. Like it kind of almost, the sets almost sort of feel like the Joel Schumacher Batman stuff.
Right,
where it's a little bit kind of a goofy looking version of the future. I could see maybe that probably threw him off, but I feel like more of the main message, which, I mean, he said it was simple, but it also isn't. Like, it is and it isn't.
Right.
Right? Because, my whole take from Q was, like, I don't know if it was, like, a whole break that he had with the whole divorce and everything. You don't really get to delve deep into the situation that happened for him. But, but just the message of just like kind of sitting around doing nothing, waiting for something to happen to you is sort of my takeaway from it.
Right.
Yeah, because the whole movie, it seems like this phone call will give me my purpose. I've been sitting around waiting for this, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do anything because I have to wait for it to come to me.
Right. Yeah, I could have been spending my life doing something meaningful, enjoying myself, but instead I've sucked completely internal and just waited for somebody to tell me why I'm here.
Yeah, but like also now that the fact that he's supposedly solved the Zero Theorem, it's just like there is money and chaos, and then if you tell people that like, hey, we're all from nothing and we'll all return to nothing.
Right.
Mass hysteria, almost like a cult-like type of message.
Right. What's the world going to do if somebody comes out with something that proves that there's not a God? Like something that's people so strongly ingrained in, in their psyche, and you prove them wrong. Like how does that change the world?
It might change it for the worse, honestly. Like as flimsy as people's beliefs are, they believe in something, and
right.
that kind of hinders them from acting on their impulses. Their intrusive thoughts? You know what I mean? Like it kind of helps keep some order. Besides, like the law, well, I can't do that. I don't want to go to hell or something like that, or I don't want to go into nothingness.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're gonna throw the public in a panic if you really are able to just 100% scientifically prove that, like, hey, what does it matter?
Exactly. Right? Yeah. We're a fluke. You know, there was this explosion of nothingness to everything, and it's going back to nothingness. So we're irrelevant, and we think we're special, but we're not. We're just
I mean, but
a causation of memories and collective conscious, you know, and it's
all you could hope for too is like just because of like the strong human desire to survive. It's like all right, first it'll send a decent amount of people into a panic of like lawlessness, right?
right.
But then there's gonna be a decent amount of people also that are just gonna be like, I need to figure out how to survive this.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, I have to jump another dimension. Yeah, like because like, you know, when you're under pressure, man, people will be like, oh, we gotta get down to it, you know, go into the think tanks and try to find a way to stop the universe from collapsing, which I mean, like, first of all, that's like a god endeavor or whatever. Godlike power, celestial body endeavor. And I think it's the hubris that humanity has. Like, I could solve this.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Hold my beer, like,
Right.
type of situation. I mean, but yeah, that's kind of like what I took from it, though. It was just like my whole thing, or at least my message from it, was just like, I think everyone goes through like a existential crisis, and like, you know, but like you can't kind of wait for things to happen. You got to do it yourself.
Right, and yeah, and maybe it's all like a mental thing for him. He's just like, he wants somebody to give him a purpose because his wife left him, and he's stuck at this job that he's miserable at, and he just doesn't know how to mentally escape from that. So
he pawned off the responsibility to a unknown entity.
Right, and then all of a sudden you get a girl who shows up in your life, forces herself almost into your life, and shows you a little caring and a little bit, and then all of a sudden is like, oh damn, pizza does taste good.
Damn. This beer when it hits your lips, it's so good.
I love that, like, pizza is part of this, like, coming back to reality.
Because it has cheese on it. What if the future future pizza didn't have cheese on it?
Oh, then you know, zero might equal 100%.
Like, what? That's just bread and tomato sauce. What's the point? What's the point of living? What is the matter with you all? You're not listening to me. Where's the pizza? Where's the cheese? Someone's gonna be like, it's underneath the sauce.
Yeah, you could hide the cheese, but it's still got to be there.
To completely negate it is a crime against humanity.
Yeah, and not that I prefer it, but you can. It doesn't even have to be like real cheese. You could be vegan cheese, whatever.
Ugh,
you got to
yuck.
throw some kind of.
No, I would.
Substance
I'd rather go a cheese-free life than eat vegan cheese. I'm sorry.
It's gotten significantly better. You know, I got to keep my tastes open for the plethora of cheeses that are out there.
Would you ever try pickle cheese? Cheese cheese infused pick how do I word that? Pickled infused cheese. Two worst enemies.
I hate pickles. Oh.
You hate the acidity of it.
It's cheese. I always say cheese makes everything better. And you know what? It probably makes pickles better, but it still doesn't make them good.
Oh, God. I'm not a huge...
Yeah, go ahead. Say something in the comments. I hate pickles, and I like my steak well done. Roast me.
Can't tell people that, Colby. It's like telling people you don't like dogs. You remember that Friends episode?
Yeah.
Like, don't tell them; they won't understand. Oh man, but this movie, I think you gotta watch it if you're I don't know if you're going through something. Maybe it's a good watch for you. Like, I feel like a lot of people get stuck in things,
and kind of like I've said on like a couple of these, if Terry Gilliam's got a fantastic film and directorial style, a cinematography that he does. which, if you're a Terry Gilliam fan and you like some of his other movies, I feel like you'll enjoy this movie and appreciate that, even if the message isn't as strong as some of his other movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the more palatable ones as far as like just a casual moviegoer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to follow. The man who killed Don Quixote is not the one you want to start off with. He's so confusing. This one is a little bit more like it's more linear as far as like understanding the whole thing, and like it's. I don't mind dialogue heavy movies. This one, it seemed like it would be a dialogue heavy movie, but it's more like a lot of factual statements that you have to kind of like dig deeper into.
Right.
Yeah. Because like the talking is sort of like it's whatever, but then like the messages and like the conversations are what's more important.
Right. Yeah.
In the whole thing, because I think that's the most impressive part about this movie is just the dialogue between characters and the mirror.
And we kind of mentioned like the main guy, the Q. Like an amazing acting job for a movie it's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And an hour and 44 and a half of those minutes, he is the focus of the camera. Like there's so little of this movie that goes and shows you anything that's not him in the center of the screen. Like that's a lot of pressure on an actor to be like, he's so focused.
Yeah, he carried the movie pretty well, just like Sam Rockwell in Moon. Like, because like, you have like very small amount of side characters.
Right.
And like, I feel like this is probably like physically exhausting too. He looked tired this movie.
Right. And like almost half the movie, like he is playing alone. Like he's in the church house by himself talking to like his computer screen, or I'm like, you get the Bob, you get the girl, but like in management, but like it's so contained. Yeah.
It also feels like Christopher Waltz has never played a video game in his life. Which, I mean, hey, he passes because he's like, what, in his late 50s or something like that. But it was just so funny, just like watching him fiddle with the controller. He's like, is this how you guys do it? I don't know.
And that was kind of an interesting kind of concept of the future, is like, you think, coders, and they've got like a Wii, or
like
not a
switch.
Wii, but it's like a Switch is your keyboard.
Yeah, it's funny. But we're coming to our hours, or we're coming to a closing. I want to first of all thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out all of our other months down below. We have months like WWE Studios month. What was it called? Was it Mythological Creatures? I think we have that, right?
Yeah. If not, we'll have it before this is posted. I don't know. Space Debris Month. We did that when the comet was flying by.
Oh, yeah. We have a bunch there for you. I feel like I know we have a Monster Month too. I was like we had the radio one. Yeah.
Dolls.
Creepy Doll Month.
Creepy Doll Month.
So many.
Ninja Month.
Yeah, so many months for you guys out there to definitely check out. So make sure to check those out. But if this is the first time you guys are joining us, we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where you at?
I blew like if we did Ultimate Box, it would just they did like Terry Gilliam movies, like 100% I would go that way. I would like Blu-ray it up and everything. If we're just saying just solo movie, I feel sad to say it, but this one may be the 1 or 2 Terry Gilliam movies I'd go just DVD and not full Blu-ray. God, unless it's got some kind of cutscenes and extras and
but how much really though?
You're right.
Yeah, because visually this movie isn't like super like visual. It's really cool, like all the set designs and all that stuff. But yeah, as far as like any extras, I don't see what you would have. Because I would just go DVD as well. Like I think it's a fine watch. Like maybe if somebody's like, "Hey, I'm going through an existential crisis right now. Can you recommend me a movie?" I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, man." So there's what's it called? A Serbian film. There's that French movie, Martyrs. Just
You're an annoying friend that I don't want around anymore. Let me.
no, but this is definitely
recommend.
probably one of the worst fucking movies ever. Like I know there's a ton more. I just don't like, there's like the whole iceberg of disturbing films, and it's just like why would I put myself? What is like the artistic view like thing of all those movies? Because it's like I want to enjoy my film,
Right. Yeah.
even if it's a heavier subject. These are kind of just like grotesque and just shocking and boring. There's like other ones too. And I watched
There's
a video.
one that we talked about, and it was like an 80s film, and then they remade it in the 90s, and we had both seen different versions of it, but it was like the story was basically just like person's getting tortured because if you torture somebody enough,
Martyrs.
is that what it was?
Yeah.
Did they see God kind of?
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
it's like a
I had to skip
hour and a half movie, and
the last like 40 minutes of it.
yeah, I was gonna say like 60 minutes of it is just
Torture.
Yeah,
I was just like, whatever, man. I don't want to watch this. I like skipped through that just to get to the point of the movie, and I was like, that's a garbage point, man. Just like, yeah, of course you're gonna blow your brains out if someone tells you what's on the other side. You're not meant to know that. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, no, I think their first movie came out like it wasn't a 90s film. It was like the early, like probably 2000, 2001, 2002. And then the American remake or whatever came out like 2008 or something.
right.
Like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, why would you remake this? No one's going to want to remake a Serbian film. I don't even know if you can get clearance for that. But, this movie. No, I would probably pawn off this movie to them. Like, hey, watch this. Maybe you're just like in a mental rut.
Right.
Or something like that. And I think this movie is going to be fine for you. So. It's Terry Gilliam, maybe like that name holds a lot of weight anyway.
Right, yeah. No, and I really did enjoy this movie. I just said that's just kind of it's.
Yeah, like what extra are you really gonna get?
It's there was a lot of it that reminded me of Brazil, and Brazil was one of his early movies, and it's super trippy too, and it is fantastically done. And this is kind of like I feel almost like Brazil was the original Willy Wonka, and then this was almost like the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka. It's like, they tried to make it current and a little more, but it didn't quite
hit the same notes.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out our links down below where we have
all of our social medias, our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, TikTok. Well, if it's still around, it'll still be around. It's going to be around forever. Too many people's livelihood depend on TikTok. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, give us some comments, some love, share us, and tell your friends about us. And I don't know, heck, if you hate us, just play us quietly in the background, just so it's
get those numbers up.
Yes, the algorithm thinks we're popular.
But thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check it out as a theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music for Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.